Someone commented on one of my videos that I look like I give good book recommendations, so here I am making a video with my book recommendations. And I feel the pressure, but the books and the texts that I am about to recommend have changed the way that I look at the world around me and inform my culture critiques and just influence the general thinking that I have about media culture and everyday life. So starting off, why read social theory books? Social theory books help us to make sense of the world around us, and then we can reflect on our place in it. There's only so much you can do with internal reflection. I read so many self-help books and lifestyle articles about being present, how to respark creativity, how to get off my phone, but things didn't really click for me until I started reading texts about technology and data and social issues. I found so much more clarity about myself and the world around me and society when I read about the conditions that we are living in and why are we the way we are? What greater social things am I experiencing at an individual level when these are greater social issues? So social theory books really put things into perspective of why I was doing the things that I was doing and why the people around me were doing the things that they were doing. And I found that to be so much more helpful to help reflect and contextualize my behaviors than self-help books. So I have 3 nonfiction books and 2 fiction books that I'm going to recommend. Okay, I keep saying books, but they're not all books because this first one, we're starting off with an article. It's called The Puritanical Eye by Carlee Gomes. I can't link it and I can't even say the full title because I will get flagged for adult content, but I think about this piece daily. So Carlee Gomes talks about the role of in film, and also how in this stage of late capitalism, when all we seemingly have left is consumerism, how our morals are tied to our consumption, and moral consumption existed with physical, tangible products. So I'm going to shop from this store because they source their materials ethically, or I'm going to shop from here because they are more inclusive. But now when images, films, movies, music, all of that, those are commodities that we are consuming, our morals are tied to that product that we're consuming. So what artists are we listening to? What basketball players are we following? What director are we watching or not watching? All of this reflects our morals in this capitalist state. This is a really provocative read. I, again, think about this piece daily, and you should go read it and find it because I can't link it. Okay, this next one is a book. It's Society of the Spectacle. I have it right here. It has this insane cover, but in this book, Debord talks about the impact of social relations being mediated by images. He talks about celebrities, he talks about the role of products and our relationship to it, and generally the role of images and media in our society. I really like this one. I think it is still very relevant today, so I recommend this one. It is available to read online. Okay, the next book I have is Race After Technology by Ruha Benjamin. This is an incredible eye-opening book that talks about our human experiences in relation to tech. So Ruha Benjamin gets into this idea of how politics are inherent in technology. This is from her intro. Race After Technology integrates the tools of science and technology studies and critical race studies to examine coded inequity and our contemporary racial landscape. There are everyday examples in this book. Some of the other texts that I've read as foundation to my research are very theoretical, but this one is very everyday life, very everyday impact. So now moving into the fiction section of this video, I have 2 fiction books. I have one by Sally Rooney and one by Dolly Alderton. The one by Sally Rooney is Beautiful World, Where Are You? Of course, her other books I've heard incredible things about, but this is the only book that I have personally read. I watched Normal People and I watched Conversations with Friends, but I personally can't bring myself to read the book after I watch the show, so that's why I haven't read those. And Intermezzo is sitting on my nightstand, but I'm getting to that one. But Beautiful World, Where Are You? It is an incredible book. The way that Sally Rooney is able to capture everyday life and our relationships to ideologies is insanely beautiful. I also feel like Sally Rooney kind of drops me into these characters' lives and then plucks me out of it. And what I learned is what I learned. And if you read this one or have read this one, I would love to talk about it. The last book I am recommending is Ghost by Dolly Alderton. There is a lot of telling instead of showing, but I think it captures everyday life pretty well, and it critiques modern dating and that connecting or lack of connecting when you start dating from a digital device. And if you know me, which you probably don't because this is only my second video, you know that I am very critical about digital devices, which, you know, I'm posting this on YouTube, so whatever. But Dolly Alderton goes into the different forms of relationships, so friendships, family relationships, and romantic ones, and the ways that our digital devices impact those relationships and the way that everyday life impacts those relationships. That is it for this video. I definitely have a lot more texts that I can recommend. I have an entire syllabus that I have to teach for class, so there is a lot more where that came from. Definitely comment if you read any of these because, again, I love talking about articles, books, texts, all of it. Again, these are the books that I think about I need to stop saying books. These are texts. I have an article in there, but these are the texts that I think about almost daily and I use daily in class or when I make social commentary videos. So I hope these will get you thinking a little bit more critically about the world around us.